Hi guys, I'm back again with the feature video now. So in this video we'd go through how to add a part, a custom part, and how to integrate the Octopart API key in the IndaBOM framework, and finally have some fun in creating bill of materials. Right. So without further ado, let's dive in. So just log in using your username and password. So the password, if I remember, yeah, so you just log in. So here, okay, just remember that. So you see now it's automatically populated your seller parts, so it's really cool, right? And now, so you cannot go inside the BOM without going inside the admin. So now you are authorized, you are a user, so you can go inside the BOM. So here we are. So that's the IndaBOM interface. So you have, by default, you have part number, description, revision, manufacturer, and MPN. So that's the manufacturer part number. So it's by default catered to the electronics industry. If you want, you could also cater it to some other industry too. That's also possible, highly possible. So you have an admin button. So if you click on admin, you will go to the admin site back. So yeah, so initially you have to create a class. What is it? What's the part that you want to create? So I create generally, let's say, and it's asking for a code. So it's a 3-digit code that's allowed. So again, you can actually modify it in the framework. So I just want to show you. So this is what it looks like. So if you go to the BOM manager, libraries, Python, side packages, BOM. So this is where you can actually tweak around with all these files, and you can actually you can see live. So you see right now you have all these things getting executed, and you have the server running at this local. It's not online. It's at the local local address. So you can actually dynamically change these, and you can see if there's some error, it will just throw out an error. If there's not, you can actually see what the web app looks like, right? So I'll just create a code called 100, and let's say capacitors, or yeah, let's say capacitors. Yeah, so it's a discrete component, just anything. It's just a class. You can actually delete it if you want. So you can just click on here, and if you want to change, delete the selected part and then say go, but I'll not do that. I'll now go to the BOM. So very easy to go back to the page, just go to the BOM. So now so how to add a part? So you can add a part like this. So you go here, this is a red key plus arrow, and you can new part. So you can click on here, and this is upload part. Suppose you have parts in a CSV file, you can directly bulk upload these things in using a CSV file. So I'll just add a new part. So we are at the create part page. So yeah, so you have the part class. So you have the capacitor. Yeah, so here we created the capacitor. And I'll just have a part number. So this is where the internal part actually comes into the picture. So you can you can add an organization code or something. I'll just add IP or something like that. So let's go to Digikey, for example, just to get a part, a live part. So that, okay, we actually forgot to add the BOM config to go to the Octopart API. So that also I'll cover. So first let's start with some capacitor. Just random capacitor. Just want the part number actually. Yeah, ceramic. Let's go for ceramic. It's loading. Come on, you can do it. No, I think you didn't click it. Yeah, so really this is good. I think I'll go for a 0805 package. Is there a 0805 package anywhere? Yeah, I think no. Yeah, 0402 is also great actually. Okay, let's go for 0402. So it's immediately available. Let's copy this manufacturer part number, and then yeah, this is my manufacturer part number. I'm just pasting it, and this is Samsung, if I'm not wrong. It's taking time to load. Yeah, it's Samsung Electronics. So Samsung Electronics, and description, I'll just copy it over from Digikey. So copy that, and yeah, just paste that. There you go. So that's not bad. Just click on create. It just created your part. So right now you will have, you know, so you have all these things, your description, whatever you've entered, and you have your estimated costs. So now it's all zeros because you have not entered any sourcing, you know, sourcing vendors. So where will you enter those sourcing vendors? You would have to go here, sourcing. So sourcing, in the sourcing you can add sellers from Octopart. So since I have not, let's click on it. So it'll just say yeah, so there's no Octopart API key, so that's where you need to add that. So let's go to Octopart. Octopart is a great API. So it has relations with all these vendors, the Digikey, Mouser, and everything. Octopart API, that would be great. So if you see, yeah, so I'll just go inside this site. It's been acquired by Altium, note that. So I'll just sign in. Okay, so let's sign in to my Octopart API account. So keying in my email ID. So you actually create your account, and they'll be asking simple questions, and like how many API requests you will be making in a month, and something like that, and you should be able to get your API key quite easily. So I'm just logging in. So if you see my dashboard, this is my key. So right, so I've registered one app key. So this key is what I need to input into my IndaBOM site. So I'll go back to my thing. Okay, so what I'll do is I can dynamically change, remember. So I'll just change that, or yeah, I could do that. Let's go there. Let's go to BOM manager, my site again, settings. This is where, so I'm gonna use the graphical editor, though I don't like that. Yeah, so here is what we needed to do. We need to actually add, for Octopart integration, you need to add this part of the line. So your super secret key has to be replaced by the key that you got in the Octopart website. So I think, yeah, so there you go. I'm just pasting that. So my super secret key, I'll just replace it with yeah, here. So I'll just copy that and paste it inside this, and save that and close it, maybe. Yeah, and now that I have it keyed in to my settings, I should just be able to find seller from Octopart. Woo! Now we have Digikey. So you see, it gets automatically filled. So I'm certain that this part is not available in Mouser. So if it was available in Mouser, it would have also showed the Mouser list. So if you now go to the specifications, by default the quantity is 100. So you see, like, you have the estimated total out of pocket expenses for 100 is $0.85. Beautiful. So bill of material. So right now, if you want, you could export this part. So I pressed edit. You could export this part. So when you export, you can just save this and you can say okay, and so in Ubuntu, so it'll be LibreOffice that will be opening. And yeah, so you have a basic BOM with a internal part number and revision. Pretty cool, right? Okay. And if you want the pricing information, you should go to this what is called, okay, so you should go into the sourcing, sourcing specifications itself, or no, bill of material, and then export. So if you do that way, you would get the pricing information also. So if you see, it's the name itself is indented .csv. So you have levels. So there is where actually the indenting actually comes into the picture, and that's where IndaBOM is so useful. You can actually assign a level 1 that is underneath that subparts. So right now it's not much, just a capacitor. So suppose you want to assign this capacitor to a board, right? So let's do that. I'll be assigning this capacitor to a board. So I'll be adding another part, right? A new part. So this is, again, I have to add a class. So what is this class? This is a board. So again, I'll have to go to so I'll be going to the, let's go to the admin. So you remember, you have to you got to create a class first, right? So admin, we go inside the admin and we go to part class. We have to add. So let's make it since it's a board, it's a different class altogether. So I'll start with 200. So it's a board types. This is, let's say, controller, motor controller. So yeah, so you save that, and now you have 200. So now what you do is you have to actually refresh this, so to actually have this 200, the board motor controller class into it. Otherwise, before that, you will not see that. So now we have a board class. Part number is 001. So since the board class, this is the part number class, the part number, and the part variations all together, they actually have, they become a number. If you have noticed in the in this, so it actually becomes the part number, the total part number, right? So okay, let's go back. So this is just a motor controller, right? Just for the sake of this example, and this is just create the manufacturer is, let's say, some random company right? So manufacturer, part number, again, motor controller 1 or something. Yeah, create. So oops, it's not I have to okay, variations is again IP. I'll just keep IP or something like that. So yeah, so once that's done, okay, you again have the defaults. Now this one you cannot do it because it's not, it'll throw an error, because obviously you cannot find. Oh, we could. Oh, I think MC1 is a part. Sorry, I think shouldn't do that. MC1 is actually a manufacturer part number. So right, so I okay, so don't do anything of that. So the idea of this motor controller, I have to assign the capacitor to this motor controller, right? So how to do that? So you go to the bill of materials and maybe click onto it. No, sorry, I think, yeah, so you have to go to manage BOM, right? And here you can actually, so it will say you can add a subpart, so you'll have only one part here. So, and you can assign how many quantities is there in that board. So let's say we have 10 capacitors for inside, so you can just like that add subpart, and so, behold, you have the subpart added to the motor controller. So you see you have a level 0, level 1. So now you have 10 of them inside one motor controller. So basically, if you go to specs again, so you see I don't want hundreds. Okay, suppose you want hundreds of motor controllers. So since you know, if you see at a quantity of 10, you'll have 0.047 as the cost of, if you go inside this, if you see the Octopart sourcing, if for 10 it is 0.047. Oh, it's at 10, at 1000 it's 0.0047. So you can see, like by default it goes to sorry, yeah, so by default it goes to 100. So 100 into 10, so it becomes 1000. So at 1000 the cost is $0.047. So it makes sense. So I want only one. Suppose I want only one. You just click on enter 1 and press enter, and you will have 0.19. So 10 units. So if you had seen for 10 number, so we are using 10 capacitors, if you remember, and so for one board 10 capacitors, Digikey pricing gave $0.19, so we have $0.19. So again, if you want to export this, you can export this, and oops, sorry, pressed escape. Yeah, so you can export this. So like that, you can have many number of components, and you can actually add on, you can actually create revisions of it if suppose the prices changes. And for, yeah, so if you see the latest export, you'll have, yeah, so you'll see for 10, so just for a quantity you can have actually, so this is the price. So pretty cool. Right, so another cool thing is in sourcing you can add seller. So you can add sellers. So this seller is, maybe a local guy, local seller. So yeah, and unit cost you can have $12 or something. Lead time, minimum order quantity, you can just save it. All the other things are default. So if you go up, so this is the local seller. So if you go to the specs, it will be 12.19 because you are actually, this is actually getting, yes, and there's a part of it from that. So it's actually, I've messed up this logic, but yeah, so you get the idea. You can actually key in local seller, and then it will compare the Octopart. If it's an electronic part, it'll compare the Octopart variant with the local seller price. And for a given, so if you want, let's say let's go to the capacitor, so to illustrate the point properly, so if you want 1000 and press enter, it'll automatically update 0.0047. that was what the Octopart had said, right? 0.0047. so if you see, okay, let's go to that part. If we can we go to that part? I think I closed that Digikey page. Anyways, yeah, you could actually go to that part. Oh, why not go? So we can copy this and go to Digikey just to check, yeah, I think this was the one. Yes, this was the one. So actually, okay, if we go to this, right, this is the price break is crazy. So you see this is almost very accurate. It's up to 4 digits accuracy. You can change that if you want to. Yeah, if you see in the BOM and sourcing, you would see up to 10,000. Yeah, you actually have up to 10,000. So I don't know from where it got 10,000, but yeah, 10,000 is from the other one. Yeah, so this is really good. So to 5,000, it's from, you know, the minimum order quantity is just 1, starts from 1. If the minimum order quantity starts from 10,000, so if you are buying in bulk, so you have a price for that also, and you have 10,000, so the price is pretty accurate. So yeah, so that's the overview of Django BOM, and I really like this software, and I'm really going to use this, and I hope to learn more about Django and maybe add more value to this project. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for your time.